Hey there, good afternoon. This is Brian Christian Jenkins coming to you out of Gran Canaria, Spain. And we are in the final countdown ba-da-bum-bum-bum, to our trip to the United States, taking a vacation to the States for 10 days, just a short 10-day trip, heading out this Friday morning, first thing in the morning, about 6:15. And so, of course, as you can imagine, everything that comes with packing for a trip, we're in full on like freak out mode, getting the house, ready, watering the property. Of course, at Friday at the same time, when just after we leave, the owners are going to come here and treat the house for termites. It's a wooden home, so it has a couple termites that have been popping up. And then at the same time, my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, is coming to stay in the home, to watch the dogs and watch the house. So trying to coordinate all those things, trying to pack bags for weather in Michigan, which could be in the 40s somewhere, and then also packing bags for weather in Florida, which is somewhere in the 90s, and all the in between stuff. But those are good problems to have. We get to choose our attire appropriately. So guys, what I want to touch on today is advanced degrees, master's degrees in education, and specifically the Masters of Business Administration, aka the MBA, something I studied as well. And if in fact it is a waste of your money, or if you have wasted your money, right? And I want to know what your thoughts are, because I think for sure within the past probably 10 or so years, 18 years, I've noticed a steep increase of people wanting to get an MBA degree for a variety of reasons, right? And so I'm going to get into why it is that I actually chose to take that degree, take out that investment, and really assume the responsibility of those student loans that I'm still paying for now to this day. Now, for me, let me go back 10 years ago, before I got to Europe, before I got to London, before I started studying. And 10 years ago, maybe let's say 10 and a half years, I was looking for a way to study a master's, because it's something I thought that I wanted to do. What's going on, Jesse? Jesse, are you Tommy, are you still here in Spain? Tommy is celebrating his birthday. My man has been traveling all over Spain, and actually a little bit of Europe, celebrating his birthday. He was in Paris, he was in Disney World, he was in Barcelona. So Tommy, give us a little update. Where are you at? Mom, love you. Can't wait to see you as well. My mom's a trooper. She will be picking us up actually from the airport at like 1 o'clock in the morning when we get to Michigan. So for me, going back about 10 and a half years ago, deciding to do the MBA, it was a one way to study, two, a way to do something different. Right, I came from a special events background. I was doing quite well in that. Moving up the ladder, I had my sights set on doing the Super Bowl. Exactly. Being part of the halftime show. And that was my North Star. That was my carrot that was leading me to continue to advance in the special events world. But I got to a point in time where I was really just got bored, to be honest with you, with doing special events. And I wanted to study something different. Well, at that time, my ex-girlfriend was going to London to get her master's. And so I was like, hell, well, let's work on the relationship. Let's go for the master. Let's go to London, go to Europe and study, get some more education, right? So the rationale beyond doing the MBA, coming from a special events world, the rationale was doing a degree that's general enough that I can have many options, where I thought I could have many options, and to advance in my profession. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. This is where I think that I potentially have wasted my money, because I was not clear on the exact why I was getting an MBA. It was just, okay, let me just study something, let me get to Europe, and I'll figure it out, right? Now, one, if any of you are in the special event world or you understand it, in special events, you really do not need a basic college degree, nor do you need an advanced degree, right? Now, again, that may change depending on what kind of special events you do, especially from a corporate level. They may require you to have some kind of degree just to kind of, weed you out, or they may require you to have some kind of certificates. But in regards to an advanced degree, there's no need for it. So one, I didn't do it for special events. Two, going forward, I for sure didn't do it because I had a clear path in a corporate path. It wasn't required of me for any particular company. And so making that decision for me to get the MBA was probably not the wisest decision from an economical standpoint and a personal growth and professional growth standpoint, because I was just kind of casting a wide net and hoping that something's going to happen, right? Now, why do I say that? Now, before I go any further, I just want you to understand that when I say it's a waste of money, I do not believe that any education is a waste, right? Whether I directly use what I've learned in that MBA or not, I don't think any education is a waste, okay? What I do believe that can become wasteful, and this is talking from my experience, is not seeing or not understanding how to use that tool at that time. Now, during the process of studying and finishing, it became very clear that I am not a corporate kind of guy. I do not fit well in that environment. I feel restricted. I felt that like, how do you say this? Being in a structured environment and living within those realms just wasn't conducive to my personality. And so this is why I decided not to go down that path, right? Now, having said that, there was a lot that was learned and gained from that experience. Valuable context, right? If I had not invested in myself and took the responsibility of taking out those student loans, I would not be where I am today. I'm confident in that. Now, that's to say I would never have arrived in Spain. I would never have left the United States, but for sure, that was an opportunity to leave. So if you find yourself in a position where you have studied an MBA and you're forcing yourself to use it, stop. Study something else that you want. And this is where I get to the point where it can be a potential waste, right? Take what you learned from that degree, right? The skills, the experience, the people you met, and use that towards something that's going to really benefit you, something that really resonates with you. And I'm saying that because this is something that I struggled with for more than 6 years. After I had my MBA, after I got the degree, I finished it great in the bag. I was still paying the student loans, and I was not hesitant. I was resistant, absolutely resistant to try to study or learn anything else after my interests have changed. Once my alignment had changed of what I wanted to contribute and how I saw myself, I was stuck in the past of I had the degree, knowing that this degree wouldn't really directly do anything for me going forward, and I did not want to invest in myself to do anything going forward. And this is where I believe it became a waste. Because there's so much that came from that degree. There's context I still have around the world because of that degree. That degree allowed me the opportunity to work in Spain, which then allowed me to open my first business in Spain, which then allowed me to open my second business in Spain, which allowed me to find my wife and marry my wife and start and create a life here in Spain. So as you are thinking about doing a degree because maybe there's a bit of stagnation in the workplace, maybe you feel you need a change, maybe you want more, maybe you want more options, I applaud that. Look for that. If you are getting those feelings, entertain that. See what there is in there. See what that, tap into that feeling, but don't think that a degree is going to save you and get you what you think you need, right? So if you feel you want more options in the workplace, right? Will actually investing in a degree, specifically an MBA, get you what you want? If you want to be an entrepreneur, open your own business, start your own project, is an MBA going to actually get you what you want? I would actually say no, if it's specific to stepping out on your own. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he asked me about, he left the Army. Yep, it was the Army or the Marines? I want to say, anyway, he left the Armed Forces of the United States. And he was looking to go into education, and he knew that I was I did the MBA. He asked me what I thought about doing it, and I said, "Well, why do you want to do it?" And his response was, "Well, I want to get contacts, and I just want to start doing more business, and so maybe get some more respect if I have a business degree and so forth and so on." And I said, "You don't need to get an MBA for that." I said, "Well, what is your interest?" He said, actually getting in the healthcare industry, right? More towards equipment and solutions for advancing the medical field. And I said, well, focus that. Get into those associations, read those books, see if there's any kind of a niche kind of course, a crash course that maybe you pay a couple hundred, at most a couple $1,000s for, to learn about that niche that's going to benefit your interest. But paying for this whole broad thing of an MBA with the hope that's going to get you somewhere else, people don't really give a crap if I have an MBA or not. They want to know, what am I doing? What am I doing now that's relevant to my passion, my mission going forward? How does that align? How does that make sense? How does that fit in that space? And so anyway, that was my advice to him. I said, if you feel you want to do it because you can't nail down any other options, or you have the money to do it, it's really of no object, then go for it, right? Again, having the MBA is not going to hurt you, but what could you have done with that money? Could you have taken, my investment was about $30,000, actually online, with everything it was about $40,000, my investment. So what could I have done with that investment if I was a bit more clear on what it is that I wanted, and if I was clear on where I wanted to go, and if I was clear on what it would take to get to where I wanted to go? What kind of investments could I have put my money into? Could I have studied something more specific at that point in time and spent, again, maybe $1,000, maybe $10,000, but that would have helped me where I wanted to go. But because I didn't have clarity, I was just kind of shooting at a very broad target, right? I was just hoping for the best, which for me is why I think it was a waste of money. So, Paco, man, is today a good surf day? Because it's a bit kind of cloudy, rainy today. So actually, today might be a good surf day here in Gran Canaria. Enjoying what's going on from Australia. Niels, I think you're here in Australia. I think you're here in Gran Canaria as well. So that's it. So my question back to you is, what are your thoughts about your degree, your MBA? Was it useful to you? Did you put thought behind it? Do you feel as if you're getting your money's worth at this point in time? There's probably a good chance that you're not, because the statistics showing that how many MBAs are actually broke, are not actually getting positions that are going to be able to pay that debt off, is staggering. And I'm one of those people who fell into that trap. And this is not to blame anyone. This is to blame myself. I was not clear on what it is that I wanted to do. I was not clear on where I wanted to go, or how I wanted to use that degree, and how I wanted to leverage that investment, right? And so it took more than 6 years to understand how to separate myself from that degree, still use what I learned, use those contacts, appreciate where I am, but to understand that another investment that's more appropriate to where I am right now in my life is going to do me a hell of a lot more than hanging on to this digital paper. See, I don't even have the paper in my hand, this digital paper, this degree. So guys, I'm signing off. Nils, I'm going to come. I promise you I'm heading to the States on Friday. When I come back, I'm coming to see your show. I want to say it's Thursdays on Again. Correct me if I'm wrong, but send me a message. Actually, put it here. Let everyone else know who might be on Gran Canaria. How can they come find you, see your band in Again? And guys, I'm signing off. Have an amazing day. Just make sure whatever you do, you dream it, you see it, you do it, and you be it. This is Brian Christian Jenkins, and I am getting out of here.